I mean, is it a save?
Oh.
I mean, what a lucky man.
I was just like...
a lucky man.
I'd stop breathing for a little while. Like, that's how it was in the last 5 to 6 minutes, which I can understand away from home. We talked about it off air. It's a tough place to go and win or play Sevilla. I just thought that at times we were inviting too many crosses, and when I saw Raya coming to save that ish, I got a bit scared, but we got our luck this time. We got lucky. You now.
Yes, me now. Thank you so much. We're just going to show you the table very quickly. The other game in the group, Lens against PSV, that one finished 1-0. PSV had taken the 1-0. Sorry, 1-1. PSV had taken the 1-0 lead, and then Lens level to make it 1-1, which means that the Arsenal just have a 1 point lead over Lens at the moment. Sevilla and PSV Eindhoven, both of them 2 points apiece. Right, we are going to go to a very quick break. We'll be right back with you. We've got more. Our big announcement is still coming up.
What is it?
Wait,
this is some build-up, this.
I know. Better be worth it, CVS. It better be worth it. We'll be back. Real Madrid and the big announcement maybe coming up next.
OK, so a really important night for Arsenal. After that defeat to Lens last time out, they really needed the win. And it took them until the dying minutes of that first half. But it was a brilliant goal from Martinelli and a great kind of ball in from Jesus, your favourite.
Yeah, and Michael has said, hasn't he, is he prolific? But goodness me, his finish was amazing, that second goal. But Martinelli, of course, brilliant for the finish. Again, Jesus supplying him with that Cruyff turn, completely changed the game. So, from Arsenal point of view, it's a very satisfying victory. I know it was tough. Look at this return. Look, beautiful. And then the pass, the vision. And then Martinelli knows he's a willing runner. And I think he's really cute here because he had one earlier in the game which he missed, and he wants to go round the keeper. You don't often see strikers now, Michael, go round the keeper.
No.
There's a bit of risk to this.
Finish. I must admit, I hated that finish. I mean, we saw 2 bits of magic today, didn't we, from Jesus? That Cruyff turn and to spot the run straight away as soon as he lifted his head up. But credit to this guy, Martinelli. He missed a good chance, as Martin said, and then he had the composure to finish off doing that. And that's a tricky finish, but he made it look easy.
Yeah, he really did, didn't he? And Jesus turned from provider to scorer as well. And we were saying he is criticised for not scoring enough goals. This is his 4th of the season. Yeah. And it was a brilliant finish.
Yeah, I mean, it was absolutely every striker's dream, really. Just cutting in on your favourite right foot and then curling it into the far top corner. I mean, you would never in a million years think he's going to score when he picks it up here. The defender lets him come inside on that favourite right foot, and as soon as he hit it, you know it's going in. It's a brilliant strike.
There's a reverse angle of this, and you see, actually, he leaves the ground as he hits it. He just, like, whips his body right into it. Just this one here, look, he leaves the ground and he just goes right through the ball, and stunning finish.
It really was, wasn't it? Well, look, there was some concern over Jesus as well because he had to limp off injured as well, and there was concern over whether or not this would be something serious. I think the noises we're hearing is that potentially it's not. But at this point, you don't want to lose a player who had so much influence in the game.
No, but the bottom line is if you're holding your hamstring and you go down and you limp off and you have to come off, you're not playing again in the next few days, put it that way. The minimum that's going to be is sort of a week to 10 days, you would think. So as much as we hear it's not serious, it's not the best of sights. They have got people to come in, of course, but he, as I say, he created a couple of moments of absolute magic today. So you want him in your squad, fit and firing. Thankfully, we hear it's not a bad one.
Yeah, exactly. We hope so, and we do wish him all the best. Micheal Arteta always warns against the dangers of set pieces. They were caught off one today because Sevilla got themselves back in this one, didn't they, in the second half? Yeah,
and ironically, it's Jesus really, I think, gets caught out. I'm never really happy asking a centre-forward to be marking that close to the goal, but Jesus there, allows the runner to come in front of him and get the header on there. And I think maybe Gabriel, who's behind him, maybe he should take a little bit more charge there and say, try and get to that ball. But again, set pieces, as Lucy said in commentary, are so important and nearly cost Arsenal 3 points here today.
Yeah. OK, well, they almost had an equaliser from Sevilla right at the end. And this goes back to what we've been talking about. David Raya in goal and Micheal Arteta putting his faith in him. But this was another... We saw some shaky performances against Chelsea at the weekend. This was a bit of a bad one, wasn't it?
Listen, all eyes are on Ray at the moment, aren't they? If you're keeping clean sheets all the time, no one says anything with the odd mistake. But because of what's happened in the past, every single thing he does, we end up scrutinising it and saying, oh, would Ramsdale have done that? And, oh, should they be playing out in that situation? As you say, he came for a cross, he went to punch it, he miscued it a little bit. And it nearly spun into his own goal. I mean, a couple of little mistakes in the first half as well, trying to play out. But at the end of the day, we're nitpicking. And it's a cracking result for Arsenal. I think they would have been happy to come away not getting beat tonight. But to get the 3 points puts them in a real strong position now.
It really does. And especially in a group which is quite closely fought, actually, compared to all the other groups, actually, because Arsenal are top at the moment with 6 points, Lens with 5, Sevilla with 2, and PSV with 2.
To score it, we didn't, and in one corner, first action that they had something, they scored, and from there, they have the experience, they have a lot of presence, and they have as well a lot of belief that they can get in the game, and we suffer.
I know your emphasis is always going to be about the team, but when I speak about the individual of Gabriel Jesus and the impact he had, especially going forward today, how happy does it make you looking at his performance?
Well, that's what we need. You need magic moments in big games, and you need the big players to step in and create those moments. And we had a big opening in the first few minutes as well with Martinelli through to score, and we didn't, and we need that. We need the players to perform at the best, and today he's done something special.
When he came off, was it just a precautionary, was it an injury?
No. He felt something in his hamstring, so let's see.
Is that going to be assessed immediately? I saw him obviously grab for the hamstring, but...
Well, he straight away asked to be subbed, which is not good news because Gavi is not a player that does that at all. So we have to wait and see in the next few days.
When you think about the reflection that you had in game week 2 and now where you are in terms of the maturity your team performed in game week 3 now, are you seeing the growth and understanding these European nights?
It's about experiences and learning from those experiences. And when you lose sometimes you learn much more than when you win. And it was a very different team that we played in Lens. We had moments that we were very dominant, and today again we have to suffer, and it's necessary to suffer when you are here to win again.
More than anything else, congratulations, Micheal.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, very important win for Micheal Arteta. I mean, you can see that picture with all teeth there, actually. with a
Cheshire Cat.
Yeah, isn't it just? And he should be, because that was not an easy place to go. He knows that, being Spanish. He's been there many times as a player. He knows that that was a really, really important win in the context of the group as well and where he puts it.
Well, we were saying it was almost like Dad's army they were up against, and all the experienced player. He talks about presence. But the one thing we have to say as well, it's only his third game as a Champions League manager. So he's learning himself, as is the group together. And I think they did a really good job of it tonight. And as we say, lots of standout players, the guys who get the goals. Declan as well in that engine room. Jorginho, I thought his passing was better again tonight. And then the defence, and Tomiyasu coming in at left-back was all a good decision. Let's just hope Jesus now, Sheffield United at the weekend. You're holding your hamstring. That usually means you're going to be out for 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah. Going back to Declan Rice, though, because his positioning was incredible today. He was all over the pitch. The only thing he didn't do was score, actually.
He started off in a little bit of a higher position, didn't he, than we're accustomed to, on that left-hand side a little bit. There was a couple of examples of him playing high. Here he is in the first half, picking the ball up in almost a number 10 position. And then we saw that quite a lot. He then went on a marauding run early in the second half, but this is from a deeper position, but he's still playing on that left-hand side. The longer the game went on, the more he got dragged back into a more of a sort of a 6 position on the left-hand side. But that's what he's very good at, isn't it? But he can run from deep positions as well. And then, Martin, you like some of these, snuffing out danger.
I do, and this is really dogged defending here. And he's already put a lot of mileage into the game. I think he's had more carries in the Champions League than any other player by Rodri. And maybe that's the role, the Rodri role. Maybe he's more mobile, even than Rodri to do it. We have to respect what Rodri's doing. But I just feel there's a maturity, a character that's coming into his game. And I actually feel he's a better player than I ever really believed he was. I'm now seeing it. I'm a real fan of what he's offering. And when you have to dig in games, he's the first one with his hand in the air.
Well, there's a reason why they went for him, and he came off the back of winning the Europa Conference League, and a lot of people might look down on that competition, but it's still a European victory, and it's still a competition where you had to show character in every single game to get to the final stages. What happens with players, and you guys know this, when you win, you want to win more. And he's got that bit between his teeth now where he just wants to keep succeeding.
Absolutely, and it's probably part of the reason why he joined Arsenal, because with all due respect to West Ham, they won a trophy, but you got more chance of winning trophies at Arsenal at the moment. So there's no question that most footballers are ambitious. They go to clubs for success as opposed to financial reasons or anything else like that. Talking most, and I'm sure Declan Rice is like that. He wants to win, and he's tasted it, as you say, and he's a top player. I mean, I do watch him, and I do genuinely believe he's more of a sitting midfield player. That's not to say that shackles him. He can still go on the odd marauding run when the time is right. But in general, I don't see him as a player that is a number 10 that can play with his back to goal and things like that. He's a massive man. You know, he's a mountain of a man. To stand in the middle there and patrol in front of the back four is what I think he does best.
They were just talking there about emotional intelligence, and I think it's just something with this group just to be really careful with. So what you need, obviously the Man City game, fantastic result. Lots of pats on the back from people in the media, ex-players. But there's another game coming up, and they maybe didn't quite perform against Chelsea, but they managed to get out of trouble. So it's a case about, OK, this is another great occasion in a way, because this team keeps learning about itself. It's on this incredible journey it's on, but needs to keep a calmness about it, just to keep the emotion in check, because it's just one win. And it's just another one where you want many wins in a season where you're hoping to be successful. They've won nothing yet, but obviously the admirers are there. But it's just one step at a time. So keep it calm. Next one, Sheffield United. Don't underestimate them, because they haven't won yet this season. But you're going to have to go and punish them at the Emirates.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Sheffield United is next. They then have West Ham away in the League Cup. They've got Newcastle away back in the Premier League. And then they've got Sevilla at home. So Micheal Arteta is now fighting on 3 fronts. I have to say, he did win the FA Cup in his first season. A lot of people seem to forget that. But how equipped is he to be able to challenge on all those fronts?
Well, definitely equipped. I think they've got a very strong squad. I think realistically, the domestic competitions is where they could pick up silverware. I think they could have no one would like to play Arsenal in the Champions League in the knockout stage. I'm pretty sure they're going to qualify. No one would like to draw them in the knockout stage. But will they just lack experience? That's the only thing going against them, because they've got the quality. No doubt about that.
Yeah, they certainly do, don't they? OK, it's been a great night in the Champions League.
Oh, Gabriel Jesus sounding relatively unconcerned. A lot of Arsenal supporters worried to see him going off holding his thigh. A slightly nervous finale to the game there, Jules, but tell us about the positives.
The positive was that they didn't give much away at all to Sevilla. We saw at the end it was a little bit shaky, but they were good. They were good. They were controlling the game. For most of it, like Micheal Arteta said, they could have scored early with a Martinelli chance.
This is when they did, and the two Gabriels here.
Yeah, the two Gabriels, especially the first one. I mean, you would expect Martinelli, especially after having missed that first chance in a similar position, to score this one. But it's all about Gabriel Jesus' turn and then the through ball. And then I think he learned from the first chance that he missed, by the sense that Nyland is very static. So if you shoot early like he did in the first chance, then he's got a chance to save it. If you go round, as we see, Nyland should really do better. But look, he never really actually moves when Gabriel Martinelli goes round. So I like a lot what Martinelli did. He didn't even have to go round that much, because he knew that Nyland would be very static on his line, and I think it's a really good goal, a very clever finish this time from Martinelli.
OK, how about the finish from Gabriel Jesus for the second?
One of the goals of the night, without doubt. We mentioned in the goal show that he did a kind of score similar one against Leicester, but he was not actually moving. He was almost in standby stop. This one, he comes inside on his right foot. It's a lovely curl. Nothing that the goalkeeper can. Maybe the only thing is Soumaré, who's with Rice there at the edge of the box, could close him down a little bit quicker and maybe try to block it. You see Soumaré, 24, arriving maybe late and then turning his body, but still the quality is so good that there's not much you can do to defend that.
What are his numbers in the Champions League, Jules?
41 goals now in his career, 41 games, 23 goals, 5 assists for both City and Arsenal.
There's been a lot of debate about whether he is the player that Arsenal need up front in recent weeks. The performance today suggests that he is, but what's the issue with him for some Arsenal fans?
Maybe that he's not clinical enough. Maybe he's not like Harry Kane. He would never score like Haaland 55 goals a season, I think. But he brings so much else, as we saw on the first goal. Today, even defensively, in terms of pressing, he's the first trigger for the press. He runs a lot, he fights a lot. And I think that's what Arteta likes. If Arteta had wanted a pure finisher, he would not have spent that money on Gabriel Jesus 2 years ago.
Is he a different animal in the Champions League?
I don't think he picks his games. I don't think there's a competition. Okay. It's just that with City, they were always very dominant. And so far, in this competition, this season with Arsenal, they have been